All right, welcome to another Space Luchador podcast, number 5, re-recorded. So, call this one The Message. I ain't gonna make it too long, so I'm just gonna straight up say the message. I've been complicating it. That other podcast that I uploaded was a complete debacle, right? Audio wise, right? So, anyways, it wasn't the actual recording of it. It was more of the uploading of it. So for some reason, it just went to shit. But anyways, um, I wanted to start off with this little audio clip, right? Go ahead and break it down so I can show you what the message is, right? It's basically a tool, and that we're gonna use so I can show you the secrets of the universe and how you can make it work to your advantage. So let's go ahead and start.
The Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. When you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters. The very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it.
There you go. And that's exactly where we're at, right? Here I am trying to do a message, right? But it's like people don't want to listen, right? So, and I get it. What is popular is what most people tend to go towards, right? It makes sense and logic, but if it ain't working, you have to think outside the box. Send as the message. Now, the Space Luchador um, has a mission, and the mission is this, right? I want to help guys, first of all, want to become men, right? And then I'm going to show them the way. And then I'm going to show them that that is the actual only way to fix all your problems, all the situations, right? Everything that you can think of can literally be fixed by this one single thing, right? Because then it trickles down from there. That's why I say manhood's absolute. So moving on from that, right? Um, so what happens immediately after in that clip, as you can see, well, not see, but you can hear, is what happens immediately after.
Were you listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress? I was. Look again. Freeze it.
So for those that didn't see the movie, I'll break it down for you. In that scene, um, there's a woman in a red dress, fine as hell, right? Obviously, he's distracted, and then Morpheus tells Neo, "Were you listening to me, or were you looking at the woman in the red dress?" Right. So what it pertains to the message is this, right? When you break everything down to what it is, that's what a guy is. That's it. That scene is literally what a guy is. We're all going through the world. When you're born, you're a boy, right? And you go through the world. Right now, you get to choose, right? What do you want to be, right? But just because you're born with two nuts in between your legs doesn't mean you're necessarily a man yet, right? Just means that you have to go through the path, right? So you're going through life, right? And if you see the scene in the movie, he's weaving and trying to not fuck with people, right? But Neil's bumping into everybody, and Morpheus try to tell him what the way is, right? And he notices one thing because he's looking everywhere, but he notices this cop standing there, and the cop is looking right back at him, right? And that's the law. In this case, the law that dictates society, right? The rules and all that stuff. That's what that represents. Now, notice he actually noticed that more than every the randomness of the world in the Matrix, right? And the reason you notice that is because that's what dictates what's supposedly right and wrong, right? And it enforces it. So that's why it's like you're looking at it for sure, paying attention. So, anyways, continues, runs into sees the girl in the red dress, and that's a distraction. But that doesn't mean it's bad. It just means you're attracted to what you're attracted to, right? Everybody likes the woman in the red dress. You have to accept that. Now here I'm talking about guys that are, people gonna be like, I know. But in this case, guys, at least in general, um, will not think twice about the woman in the red dress. So, anyways, Morpheus then tells him this line that I like. I like that scene a lot, specifically because of the situation. So he tells him, look again, right? Now, in order for you to get the message, at least the message that Space Luchador is trying to tell you, is that you got to get philosophical, right? You got to actually hypothetical and psychological and theorized, all sorts. Use all the tools to understand. Now, eventually, I'm gonna have a, like I said, I want to actually show you visuals, but YouTube doesn't allow it. I've been able to upload most of my damn videos because I get flagged. But anyways, enough about me on and the uploading stages and shit. Um, so anyways, you get hypothetical, right? Theoretical, scientific to a certain point for you to understand what the message is, right? So in this scenario, right, in the movie, um, the woman in red dress turns into Agent Smith, right? In my scenario, so that you can understand what I'm trying to, um, the message here, the Space Luchador is trying to tell, is that Agent Smith is still the woman in the red dress. Doesn't turn into Agent Smith. There's a duality there. Now, I'll explain the duality in another video, or it's hard, but it's gonna take a while for me to explain that. You have to understand this theory first, all right? So the woman in the red dress does not turn into Smith. Turns in, she just she's the same in one. That's the duality part. She's still a woman. She just has all of Agent Smith powers. All right. Now Morpheus then tells Neo what all the powers are. Right. She holds all the cards, um, makes all the rules, and has certain abilities within the Matrix that make her, in this case, like more powerful, if you will, right, in a relationship based scenario. The man, you understand? That's the that's where you have to get philosophical, right? Theoretical and all that stuff. Um, for you to understand, right? Now, once you picture that, right, you're actually playing chess, right, in this matrix that we call life, right? Now, the woman, like I said, has all the power that Agent Smith has if you watch the movie, right? And then Morpheus tells Neo this.
This. This isn't the Matrix. No. It's another training program designed to teach you one thing. If you are not one of us, you are one of them. What are they?
See, like it's that simple that it's so hard, but right there alone, that's a big statement. I know, but if you're not one of us, you're one of them. So I'm not saying to choose. I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying you're not the same thing. You got to understand that first and foremost, right? If you're a man or a boy, you got to understand you are not a woman and therefore cannot act, be, or what's that, think the same way, right? Because you're comparing yourself to something you can never compare yourself to, right? So that's problem number one. But as you can see, that's why I'm using this so that you can understand, right? So, anyways, uh, moving on.
Sentient programs. They can move in and out of any software still hardwired to their system. That means that anyone we haven't unplugged is potentially an agent. Inside the Matrix, they are everyone, and they are no one. We have survived by hiding from them, by running from them. But they are the gatekeepers. They are guard.
You heard that? Now, of course, um, some of that stuff doesn't apply, right? Because obviously, for the sake of the movie, you had to add some stuff. But if you look through all that stuff, what did he say right there? Key word. They are the gatekeepers. Now, they happen to be the gatekeepers in the real world. Women, that's what they are. The gatekeepers. Um, you don't believe me? You can look into it, and that's basically how they operate. Now, you got to understand that that doesn't make them bad either. Because in the movie, right, Agent Smith is evil and stuff like that. But in the real world, women ain't evil, right? That's not the message. Don't turn it around. Um, but you can see how in this example here, right, shows you what I'm talking about right now. I know it takes a lot of brain power, and I'm not, and um, a lot of hypothetical and theory. You got to really be into this to understand, be passionate about it, because some people will be like, "Oh, what the hell you talking?" Right? Those are your enemies. Those are the ones that are they're so engraved that they refuse to listen and they'll defend it. But anyways, moving on.
All the doors, they are holding all the keys, which means that sooner or later, someone is going to have to fight them. Some.
Um, Not the fight them part, but just understand what he said. They hold all the keys. They hold all the doors, right? And in the game of chess, they hold all the rules, right? In a relationship, for example, they hold all the rules, all the if you value, if you will, right? Um, just really think about it and know that they set the rules, right? Like I'll give you an example, right? You're gonna go on a date, right? What do you usually do? Well, what do you like? Or where do you want to go? Or it's even up to her if she even goes. Period. You know what I mean? So it's like there you go. They hold all the chips. That's what I'm saying. So let's continue.
I won't lie to you, Neil. Every single man or woman who has stood their ground, everyone who has fought an agent has died. But where they have failed, you will succeed.
See, everyone has failed, but where they have failed, you will succeed, right? Obviously, because he's trying to tell them how to succeed, right? Like how to be the one. See what I mean? So put that same example in a relationship, for example, right? Um, every girl I mean, every guy that a girl dates, right? That doesn't ultimately, I guess, I mean, not necessarily keep her, but be like the one, right? The husband or whatever, the successful marriage or all that stuff. They all, you would say, failed, right? Now, in my premise here with the Matrix and the movie, and in real life, if you look at it as a relationship, right? If the guy, you would say that the guy that didn't get the girl lost, and at least you can't say just one lost. There's a buttload of people, in this case, guys that didn't get the girl lost. And then that's if you put it in comparison to the scene. That's you see how it fits. You know what I'm trying to say. So let's continue so then you can see what I'm trying. This is the message part. Okay. So let's continue.
I've seen an agent punch through a concrete wall. Men have emptied entire clips at them and hit nothing but air. Yet their strength and their speed are still based in a world that is built on rules. Because of that, they will never be as strong or as fast as you can be.
That's the other thing that I want you to listen and understand. Now, I know all of this sounds crazy as hell, but I could show you. It's just that, I'm starting out and it's a little hard to kind of just say it, throw it out there. But I want you to see it theoretically, right? And hypothetically and all that stuff. Think outside the box and put that same scenario into a relationship, right? So, like he said, right? Listen, Morpheus said that they punch through walls or those are super. Women have superpowers, right? That's the point. Um, they can do certain things and get away with it. Is what I'm saying, right? And they affect the guy in ways that you can't even, um, you can't justify it, but at the same time, they could still get away with it somehow, right? But they do, and that's the point, right? So what he said was that they have all this stuff, right? All these powers, but because they're in the matrix that has certain rules, right? They can never be faster or stronger than you can. See the message? Right? So now I don't want to get this into a sexist battle. Just trying to tell you that despite all these powers that they have, right? Because they hold all the chips, the gatekeepers, all of that, they still can't be stronger, faster than you can. Now, I'm not saying that you're better. I'm just saying that they're not. They can't reach that level that you can. Not because they can't, but because they don't want to. Now that's a whole different can of worms. But um, I'll get to that eventually, right? So here's my favorite scene.
What are you trying to tell me? That I can dodge bullets? No, Neo. I'm trying to tell you that when you're ready, you won't have to.
And that is the Space Luchador's message. I'm trying to tell guys that when you're ready, you won't have to dodge bullets. Right? That is a big difference. That's what separates everything, right? Separates the boys from the men. Because if you listen to all the horror stories, right, on the internet and complaining and bitching and all that, it's always the same thing. She did that. She did that to me. Can you believe what they do? Can you see this? Can you see that? Right? And they're all victims. And then you got the other side, right? The other guys going, oh, yeah, because they heard all these damn stories. What do they always say? Oh, dodge the bullet, right? It's always, I dodged the bullet. I'm trying to tell you that if and only if you want to learn and actually become a man, or in this case, the one, that when time comes, you won't need to dodge bullets. You see, there's a difference. There's a difference between being scared, well, I got to dodge bullet. No, no, no. How about you get so good that you, when you're ready, right? Like I said, you won't need to dodge bullets. That's the message. Now I know it's hard, right? But let me put it in a different type of. Let me sum it up, for example, right? Guys, if we knew, young guys, if young guys knew what older guys know now, right? For example, they wouldn't fuck up, right? They wouldn't fuck up in a lot of different areas in their lives. They wouldn't fuck up if they knew what older people knew, right? But the only reason they know that is because they at some point fucked up, right? So you kind of have to, it's this thing where it's a cycle where you kind of have to fuck up. Otherwise, you can't learn, right? But I have belief that if you want to learn, right, maybe you don't have to fuck up. But, um, after testing that out, I realized nobody wants to learn or nobody wants to listen until you have fucked up, right? So, having said that, I guess that was pointless, right? 'Cause you kind of, um, people only want to learn or listen after they fucked up, because then that's when you're looking for an actual, cure or answers, right? It's only when you've already done the deed or you already gone through it that now you want to know, right? But anyways, the point is that that's what I'm basically offering. Right? I'm offering the if you already did fuck up, right, and you're looking for answers, this is it. This is the place, and I'm gonna give you straight up answers, the cure, the actual fix to your situation, specifically, um, any situation really. Um, most of this stuff, secrets of the universe, like I've been saying, they've all been tested, right? Proven facts of of life, right? Now, like I said, once you reached, well, anyways, like if you were young, right, you're a young guy, and you knew um, certain thing, right, kind of like the Matrix, the Neo, right? If he knew he was the one, right, as soon as he was right off the red pill, he would have made that first jump, right? Yet he didn't believe in himself, right, and didn't believe in general, which is why he fell, right? Which is why we all fall, right? But I guess what I'm saying is that from what I've seen, people fall, right, and they're still doing the same thing, but don't actually get to the actual answers, right? That's what I'm offering, basically. All right now, obviously, I can't do it in one swift move, right? But I just wanted to do this video to try to explain. I don't want to do this whole visual and stuff. I mean, if I wish I knew how to draw, right? Because then I could draw my own shit, have it up here, and then I kind of picture what I see, and then you could see it, right? And then kind of understand and go from there, right? But like I said, working on it, right? Um, eventually, I'll have some guests and stuff like that, and show you why it works, how it works, and get the message out, right? Like one of my heroes, if not the hero, said that if you know something, right, like you believe something, you have to be like a light, right? You gotta like a lantern, and then put it up. You gotta put it up at the highest spot so the people that are in the dark can see it, like a lighthouse, right? That's what a lighthouse does, right? It's so it could guide the boat to where it needs to go. That's the purpose, right? If you don't put the light up, then the boat's lost in the damn ocean, right? But somebody has to do it. So in this case, um, I believe that I have a lot to offer, right? This expertise. So why not put it up there? I'm passionate about it, and I wanna show you this journey, right? And show you the secrets of the universe. And I figured, screw it, why not? You know. So yeah, that's the message of the Space Luchador. Basically, tell a little bit behind the scenes, right, of the Space Luchador. That's the goal, right? Because I think I was kind of, if you look at my some of my videos, it's kind of lost in there. But this is the message, right? So to all of those red pills and manospheres and everybody in the internet that is looking for answers in a relationship and in life, right? Like a life coach, I can do that. Um, I'll show you that it's actually more simple than you think. It just gets complicated because nobody wants to think outside the box, right? They don't want to, you know, what's that? They don't want to do things because they think it's wrong, or you know, or they believe a certain thing so much that it can't be the other thing, even though they've been doing this, right? Going in circles, because they refuse to believe that that's the answer, and they're over here going, nah, nah. I have to find the answer doing just this. But you're doing this. That's the very definition of insanity. You're just doing the same fucking thing, and you ain't getting nowhere. You're expecting a different result, right? At the very least, I'm saying you got options. You got this, right? You got that right up here, and then you got that. There's always three. Remember, if you had listened to the relationships explained through math episode, which is three, by the way, um, go back and watch that, and you can see that number three is one of the greatest number you'll ever um, you'll ever use, and there's a reason for that, right? You could look it up if you want. Be like, hey, why is number three? Google it, right? Why is number three special? And then do your own investigation and come back to the Space Luchador when you're done with that. I'm gonna try to make it more entertaining, right? Because me sitting down, catch potatoing, talking on the mic. Um, if it was me, I'd be like, hey, well what is the special effects? What is the other stuff here and there, options and shit to keep you entertained, right? Um, so yeah, I want to make it fun, entertaining, and all that. And we're gonna get to the answers, like I said. So yeah, it's to my 16 subscribers. I'm gonna need you to share it, right? If you believe in the Space Luchador, go ahead and share it, and to as many people as you can. Or they might listen, they might not, right? To anybody that's in a situation that you think that what I'm talking about, they're like, this might help them, right? You point them over to the Space Luchador, and might fix them. You might get the damn answer that you're looking for. So there you go.